Hey folks, Sharpie here, and we're going to be going over the quick setup for the server side of things. We're going to go to my Google Drive, and this is the file you're going to download. It's 33 gigs, so it's going to take a little while. Then you're going to unzip it, and you'll wind up with this 78 gig file. Put it wherever is going to be convenient for you. I know Dustin always likes to put this stuff in his C drive, and I just have a EQOA folder. That's where I like to keep all my stuff at. So that's the main file we're going to be using. So the next thing we're going to do is go to the VirtualBox page, and then go over to the Downloads section. Grab yourself the Windows version, and grab the Virtual Extension Pack, this right here. Those are the only two things you need to download besides the gigantic file, of course. Then go ahead and install VirtualBox. Pretty quick install. And this is what you'll wind up with, except without this, because that's mine. Now, go to File, Preferences, and then Extensions. And this is where you install the extension pack. Just go ahead and add it from here. And once you got that installed, that's all good to go. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to hit New, and go ahead and call it EQOA. Since mine's already there, I'm just going to call it EQOA Test. And here you want Windows 7 64-bit. If all you have are 32-bit options, then you're going to need to go into your BIOS settings and enable virtualization. Excuse me. If it is enabled and you're still only seeing the 32-bit, then you're going to need to disable Hyper-V. Now this part I've never had to do. I've done this on 3 machines. One of them was a 10-year-old laptop, and I've never had to do it. So if you do have that issue, message me, and we'll see what we can do about getting it resolved, because I've never done it, so I can't really explain the details of it. So we've got our name, we've got Windows 7 64-bit, hit next. Now here we're going to set up our RAM, and I just set it to 4096, which seems it's worked fine for me. I know Dustin likes to take it all the way to the edge, but I haven't seen a reason to do that yet, at least on my machine. And we'll hit next. And now here we're going to use an existing virtual disk. That's the one that you just downloaded, the giant file. So there is our file, and if it's not listed here automatically, then just go here, go to Add, and go ahead and find it. For me, it's in this folder. It's right here, red box, easy to pick out. You'd click that and hit Open. So we've got it selected, and we just hit Create. And there you go, it's created. Now everything you need is already set up in there, so you don't have to worry about that at all. So all we're going to do first is take care of the settings for VirtualBox. So go to Settings, and in General, we're going to go to Advanced. And here on the shared clipboard and the drop and drag, we're going to change both of those to bidirectional. That's just going to let us move stuff on and off the virtual machine to our desktop and vice versa. So that part's taken care of. Now we're going to go to System and select Hard Disk. Move that to the top. Everything else here is good. You can, mine's not enabled. I know it's been recommended by one of the other people to check this. You can if you want to. I don't really think it's going to make any difference, but go ahead and check the enable this. Then we're going to go, let's see, acceleration is fine. We're going to go to Display. Go ahead and take the video memory, run that all the way up to 128, and you'll be good to go there. Don't need to worry about any of that. Go to storage. And here this should be listed here. If it's not, and all you have is an empty disk, then you would click on it, click on this icon, and go ahead and find the same file again and just add it in there. But it should be automatically be there. Then we can go to audio, and we're going to disable that because we don't need it at all on that side of things. And then let's see, we'll hit network, and here we're going to change this to bridged adapter. And this should be your chipset that's going to show up. We'll go to advanced, and on promiscuous mode, we're going to hit allow all. And that is it for the settings. So we'll hit OK. And now it's ready to go. And just hit start, and it should boot up. And you're going to get these funky pop-ups. This is just a non-licensed version of Windows 7. So, they're a little, just tiny nuisance that happens. It's no big deal. Just keep clicking out of this stuff. And you'll get little pop-ups from time to time saying, this is not a licensed version or whatever. It just doesn't matter. Now, the next thing you want to do, and see, there's one of them. So we'll get rid of that. Now here, go to Internet Access. Right-click on that. Open Network and Sharing. Go to Change Adapter Settings. And right-click on your local area network. And select Properties. Now I want to go down to IPv4 and select Properties. And this is where you're going to put in your IP address and your default gateway. It will either be 1.1 or 0.1. So if you've got zeros in here, go ahead and change those to zeros. The preferred DNS, I'm pretty sure it's the same thing there. Change that to 0 or 1, whichever you happen to have. So they should all line up zeros or ones. And then you'd click OK. We can close this. Close this. And this is everything you need is here in the HAGNU folder. SQL is on here also. If you want to look at the database, I wouldn't mess with that right now at all until you have a pretty good idea of what's going on. So in the HAGNU folder, this is everything you're going to need. Your ability creators in here. The main thing you're concerned with, though, is the NPC creator. And I went ahead and I've made a shortcut for that and put it down here on the bar so you don't have to open this up to start it each time. And a quick note while we're in here, here's your database. All your changes that you make are going directly into this. So I would recommend at the beginning, back this up pretty frequently, whatever you're comfortable with. That way if something happens in the creator and you spawn an NPC and it doesn't have any values and you just, you need to ditch it, or you can just come back in, replace your master database with your backup, rename it to master database, and you're back to where you were started with your backup, and just redo that little bit that you had already done. I will generally go an hour or two without backing up, sometimes a whole session, and everything's been really stable. The software works great. Have had hardly any disconnect problems. Most of the bugs have been worked out. At this point, this is the latest version of the creator. Dustin just did some changes to this over the previous weekend, and this is the newest database. So it's completely up to date, fresh, ready to go. So we'll close this. We will start the creator. And the only thing you have to worry about changing here is, here's your IP address again. If you had a 0, change it over to a 0, and then hit start. For me, it's the 1, and we'll hit start, let it load up, and it'll tell you when it is waiting. And there you go. It's up and running. It's waiting for the client. So you can load up PCSX2 and go ahead and boot up EverQuest, and it should start sending traffic. This is, if you get this far, if you've got PCSX2 set up and you're not getting traffic, then that is where we can start to troubleshoot things from, and there's only a few things that will cause an issue. I'll provide a link on the post to a text write-up that I did for the PCSX2, and it's going to follow Jonathan Greenway's video on setting it up, which is extremely good, and I highly recommend it. The only other thing to really think about is here on your network, if you don't have internet access here, then you've got your IP addresses set wrong. It's that simple. If they're set wrong, you're not going to have any internet access right here. But other than that, that is pretty much the whole thing. It's nice and quick, all tidied up for you. So we look forward to seeing if you're helping, and if you do, well, have fun with the team, and we're going to get this thing going. So y'all have a great day.